can go through it. Or next, I would like to conclude my entire topic as also family has a responsibility in teaching children as its contribution in building human resource for society. The family also has function to provide formal and informal education to children or member of family. So function of family is very important to educate children to become human resource in society. That's all from my topic. Now I hand over to Snigdha.
Thanks,
Snigdha?
Akanksha.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Snigdha Pradhani, and today I will be discussing about the social institutions that everyone know about, that is school. Next slide. Sadhana.
Yes, yes. There is actually network fluctuations.
Yes. So why there is needed of institutions like school? As there is needed of specialized knowledge and skills which could not be easily acquired in a family, church, community. So later it had been it has needed some specialized education agencies like school, college, and universities. So there are multiple perspectives about the school. That is, the school can be defined as institutions whose goals are to promote both students' growth, development, and the well-being of a country and its citizens. And also, school is defined as a system consisting of the rules, norms that ensure the transmission of knowledge, values, and pattern of behavior from one generation to the next generation. And all we know that school is a formal education system. At school, provide learning spaces and a learning environment for the teacher for the teaching of the students under the direction of the teachers. And school is the formal education which involves instruction by specially trained teachers who follow officially recognized policies. Next slide. Now we will see some functions of the schools. So there are many functions of the schools. So let's discuss one by one. The first and the primary functions is to move the young people into the mainstream of the society. And the school is the place where the completion of the reality take place. And here the task of the teacher it is to show this reality to the students and to help them in develop in many aspects like physical, emotional, and social, and also in economical aspects. And also there are many functions like cultural transmission, future occupation, technical of learning skills, and rational thinking, socialization, personal adjustment, family living, patriotism, and many more. And also there are some important functions like the intellectual purpose of the school. Here the functions is to teach the basic cognitive skills like reading, writing, calculation, mathematics, and also to transmit the some specific knowledge. And also it helps the students to acquire high order thinking skills. The next function is political. Here, its functions is to teach the children the basic laws of the society, which help the students to develop the patriotic and civic attitudes, and also about the responsibilities of the citizens. And also, it helps assimilate diverse cultural groups into a common political orders. And the next function is the social. As we all know that socialization is the key ingredient in the stability of any society. So here the function of the school is to socialize the children into the various roles, behavior, and the values and laws of the society. So it reinforces the social equality for all the people of different backgrounds, and it eliminates the national, regional, racial, and the gender bias. And the next function of the school is the economic. Here, the function of the school is to prepare the students for their later occupational roles. So, indirectly, we can say it contributes to the development and stability of the manpower structure of the economy. And the next function of the school is the cultural. Here, it refers to the contribution of the school to the cultural transmission and development at different levels of the society. which helps the students to be socialized with the successful norms, values, and belief of the society. And also it encourages appreciation of the cultural diversity, which helps us to accept the different norms and to know about the traditions, values, and beliefs of different countries and religions. And the next and the main function of the school is education. Here it refers to the contribution of the school to development and the maintenance of the different level of the society. So here it helps the students how to learn, and also it helps the teachers how to teach. And also it transmit the knowledge from one generation to the next generation. And here we can say the main function is to facilitate the teacher's professional development, and also it contribute to the formation of a learning society. And as a whole, we can say that school can make an important contribution to the education for the whole world and for the formation of a learning society. So it was all about from my part. So the next part will be discussed by Sadhana Valli.
Thank you, Snigdha. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sadhna Malik, wearing the roll number 200146, going to present about the role of society as a social institution of education. So, social institution stands for any institution in a society that works to socialize the group of people in it. So, what is a society? Okay. A society describes a group of people who live in a defined geographical area and who interact with one another and share a common culture. In general, the social institution of society is the replacement of instincts in human society, created in the course of cultural development. Here, the word society comes from the Latin word societas, which means fellow or buddy, the terminology used to describe a group's relationship or interaction. Every society develops a system of education consisting of the rules and norms that ensures the transmission of knowledge, values, and patterns of behavior from one generation to the next. These are the functions. First is to move young people in the mainstream of society, which means to incorporate young people into society's mainstream. Next is to socialize children into the various roles, behaviors, and values of society. And the last key ingredient is the stability to any society. So these are the prime functions. These are the basic classifications are economical, political, education, spiritual, family groups. Let's start with the family. Family is a basic unit of any community and society which acts as joining institution between individual and society. Family occurs in practically every human culture, although its structure and purpose differ from society to society and from time to time. Within the family, there are basic relations such as mother, father, son, daughter, husband, wife, brother, sister, and secondary relations such as uncle, aunt, and cousin. There are also tertiary relatives such as friends, neighbors, and other such relationships. So these social relationships can be understood in terms of societal role and position. Next is economic institution. Means economic activities and requirements are fundamental to any civilization, regardless of its degree of development. According to Karl Marx, the economy is the foundation of any society, on which all other institutions are built. The role of economic institution is to ensure organization of economy, management and effective development. So this group includes also money and the market and many other things. Next is political institution like the army, the parties, the court, the state, the media, and so on, regulate any regulations of political power in the society. It is the study of the division of power and authority in society. Every culture has a set of regulations in place. Next is education. It is a process that occurs in every community. Education solves a variety of other purposes, including social mobility and intergenerational transformation. There are two common functions of education in every society. First is to socialize the members of society and transmit the culture to the next generation. Second is to fulfill society's needs pertaining to human resource. The last but not least, religion is another universal institution. that exist in all societies, from the prehistoric to the postmodern. Spiritual institutions like education, science, religion, and so on support moral values in society and contribute to their further development. So, by concluding, the total concept of social institution of education in case of family, school, and society is that social institutions like relationships between individuals, culture, and other elements are not rigidly fixed or constant phenomena. They evolve with time. In case of family, the family is the fundamental unit of any community or society, serving as a link between individuals and society. The role of school is to perform the functions of socializing the individuals for a variety of social roles and development of personality. The final task is to manage and control society as a whole, as well as the each individual member. So this is all about the social institution. Over the next slide to our next participant.
Thank you, Sadhna. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shalini Mishra, bearing roll number 200127. Today, I am going to deal with the topic social mobility. I have divided my topic into two main parts. First of all, I'll talk about concept of social mobility, and then second, we will look at the types of social mobility. So, I would like to begin by telling you the meaning of social mobility. The word mobility means shift, changes, or we can say movement. When we use the prefix social with the word mobility, we signify that people or individuals who are in this social position can move to a different status. And if I talk about origin of social mobility, Sorokin is the first sociologist to publish a book titled Social and Cultural Mobility, in which he talked about the rate of change of determined by a society level of modernization. And according to Barber, social mobility refers to movement between higher and lower social classes. What I said between higher and lower social classes. We might say that mobility emerged through social interaction. Next slide. And when we talk about mobility, mobility may be considered in different forms. A change in occupation from one generation to another, as from father to son, involves a consecutive changes in status and also a promotion within the same occupational group. So, next slide. Let us discuss some characteristics of social mobility. There is always social mobility in both direction. I mean to say upward and downward, and can be facilitated significantly by higher education and occupational training also. Now, let us move to the next topic, which is types of social mobility. Next slide, please. Now, let's discuss different types of social mobility one by one. First one is horizontal mobility. When we talk about horizontal mobility, it is a movement of an individual or a group on the same level. Let's take an example. Let's suppose an engineer who is switches from engineering to teaching engineering. What I said, engineer to teaching engineering, has horizontally transits from one occupational category to another. And opposite of it, when we talk about vertical mobility, then this involves in the transition of an individual from one social stratum to another. It can be upward or downward. Next slide. Let's suppose a businessman suffers losses and is declared bankrupt. He is regarded as a low status individual. So this is the example of downward mobility. And opposite of it, when we talk about a businessman with money and manipulation abilities become an industrialist, he rises up with the social ladder. So this is the example of upward mobility. Next, the third type, as you can see on the slide, is intergenerational mobility. When we talk about it, this form of mobility occurs when one generation social rank differ from that of the previous generation. I'll explain it with this example. With one example, let's suppose father is a shoemaker and his son, after receiving education, become a clerk or a doctor or an engineer. But okay, this example is upward intergeneration mobility. But opposite of it, let's suppose in a Brahman family, their younger generation is neither intelligent nor follow their footsteps. So ये क्या हो जाएगा? After some time, this will get into the downward intergeneration mobility. And the last type is intragenerational mobility. So this type of mobility takes place in lifespan of one generation. Change in one brother's position. For example, a clerk can begin his or her profession, then improves back karo, sadhna, then improves his knowledge and abilities, and then became a hashtag an IS officer. But on the other side, his brother, as a clerk, never advanced his career and remained in the same position throughout his life. So, what will happen? As a result, within the same generation, one brother switches position while the other does not. So, this concludes social mobility and types of social mobility. Now, Kirti will talk about the role of education in social mobility. Thank you.
Thank you, Shalini. Good afternoon, sir, and uh, please, next slide. Thank you, Shalini. Good afternoon, sir, and everyone presented over here. This is Kirti Singh, roll number 200142. I will discuss about role of education in social mobility. In fact, upward social mobility. Uh, where a person belongs to lower strata, like Riksha Pulasan becomes an IAS officer, or recently Miss India Manasa Varanasi, daughter of Riksha Pulal. So it's a kind of upward mobility. First of all, I would like to spread some light on a definition given by sociologist Augustine Reid. The functions of the educational system are to provide people with the qualifications and aspirations to meet society's occupational needs. Built into the system is that assumptions that people will or should want to be upwardly mobile. Underlying such reasoning is then the belief that social mobility is a desirable characteristic of that society, and that the education system exists to promote and facilitate it. Please backslide. Backslide, Sadhu. Backslide. Yeah, that's already. Okay. Means education has functional value. Now we always think the time when we were a kid, we supposed to study hard and become a prosperous personality in future, either doctor, engineer, teacher, anyone. We all wanted to be upwardly mobile. People from different background and socio-economic status, after attaining education, they move upwardly in the society. They gain higher prestige, employment opportunities, better living standards, and respect in the society, and they will also serve to the society. So education is a very potent means to encourage people social mobility in the society. It has multi-directional influence in promoting social mobility. Next slide, please. Now I would like to discuss how education plays an important role in social mobility with the help of these points. First is overall development. As we all human beings born with some talents, potential, education helps to identify and develop that potential and inculcate values which help to realize an individual own self and others as well. So she can live in harmony with the existence as well. Next point is progressive and conservative. Education innovate new means of betterment of mankind, and also spread awareness among the people so that they can utilize the mean to be prosperous economically as well as other dimensions of one's life. Education transmit culture and values from one generation to another. So we can say that education plays progressive and conservative role in bringing social change and maintaining social norms respectively. The next point is motivation. Education develops motivation among individuals who are socially deprived, like transgender, scheduled caste, or scheduled tribes, and physically challenged persons also. There are many examples of such persons like Arunima Sinha or Joita Mondal. Next point is aspirations. Higher the education, higher the possibility of upward social mobility. Education develops knowledge and enhances the skills, capabilities of an individual, which result as help in gaining higher status or prestige and promotes them upwardly. For example, a person from Sudra Varga can become a teacher after getting education, means he can perform a job of Brahmins also. Next slide, please. Remove backwardness. More educated people live in a society, more the openness will be there. Openness in the sense of pursue any occupation, profession, like man can cook food for their own family and women can do field work, means there will be openness in ideas. Hardly rigidity will exist there. Next point is lack of educational qualification restricted social mobility. Now question is how? Then there are many jobs which required highly qualified personnel. If a person qualify all the required academic degrees or examinations, then he or she will be eligible or get placed in that particular job. The next point is intensity of social mobility. Education plays a great role here. More the individuals are educated, more the upward social mobility, and less the people educated, less the upwardly social mobility. Like in cities, most of the people attain higher education, and the people who lives in village get less exposure to higher education. Then the rate of intensity, rate or incentive, intensity will differ in both the places. The next point is life of women. Education not only educates women but also enables them to take decisions and accept responsibilities at their home and outer world. Education helps a woman to understand their rights to equal treatment like a man in a society. Thus, education plays an important role in promotion of social mobility and it cannot be denied by anyone. It is among the most important agents of bringing changes in the society and its structure. Next slide, please. Next slide. Here, these are some examples. I'm sure you all know about these personalities. Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar, APJ Abdul Kalam, Malala Yousafzai from Pakistan, Arunima Sinha, the first amputee mountain climber, Manasa Varanasi, Miss India recently, Sweta Katti, who grew up in Brothel. Yesterday, sir also discussed about her. And Joyita Mondal, first transgender judge, IS Surbi Gautam from Madhya Pradesh. All these personalities move upwardly in the society because of the education. Next slide, please. At the end, it can be inferred that the movement of people from one place to another is migration, whereas movement of people from one social status to another is called social mobility, maybe vertical or horizontal. In vertical, it can be upward or downward depending upon the factors affecting it. There are various ways of facilitating social mobility, such as political power, marriage, family affiliations, and education. Among several factors, education plays a crucial role in promotion of social mobility as education has become a major mean to achieve a high status in society and to remove backwardness of the society. And is the most important because it is uh, readily available to more people as facilities are extended all over the world. Next slide, please. These are the references. Next slide, please. These are also references. And next one. Next slide, please. And thank you everyone for sincere listening and showing much patience till now. Thank you, sir.